Slanjavat, everyone. Welcome to Whisky and Synths. You've tuned in to the #1 channel that blends whiskey drinking and music making. Don't know why I do the hand gesture. It's meant to be playing a keyboard, but maybe it looks kind of weird. Anyway, you've just found your whiskey fueled music production life coach. And thanks for tuning in. Today's episode, we're going to be finding out what season of music production are you in at the moment. This is important because sometimes you can find yourself doing something but you wish you were doing something else. Like, for example, when I was doing loads of gigs and concerts, I was like, oh yeah, but I'm never like making any music anymore. No. And then sometimes I'm like making loads of little loops in that and not finishing tracks and not doing any gigs. And I'd be like, oh man, I wish I was doing gigs in that more. And now I realise I was just in different seasons of music production, and that's like totally normal and it's totally okay. I mean, it's been like that since the dawn of recorded music, going way back to the jazz age and even older than that. And just like some people love a certain season, you know, the type on Instagram like, I love autumn, scarves and beanies and hot cups of coffee and winter's coming, oh I love, not my type, but some people love a certain season in real life, you know, like autumn, winter, you know, summer, all that. But you might be a music producer who loves a certain music production style season, and that's okay as well. Sometimes you got to play to what you love and what you're skilled at the most. So today's video, we're going to run through the 4 main music production seasons. Let's run the credits and get into it. Whisky. Just before we start, I want to share something I've created to help. One of the biggest, most common problems music producers have is they're stuck in loop hell. You can't finish tracks. You've got an awesome loop, but I can't finish it. Oh. So click below for your 10-step, 10-day guide that will show you in easy steps how to go from having a loop to a finished track. And it's only going to take you 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day in 10 days, and that awesome loop will then be an awesome track. And doesn't that sound good? That's what we all want as producers, our tracks to be finished and played out. So if you click below, I'll send that as my free gift, free of charge to you. I want to help the music production community out, and hopefully that helps you out. So the first music production season that I want to mention that you could be in is the creation season. So this is where you're feeling playful and creative. You're not really finishing stuff. You're playing around in Ableton, making beats and loops. Maybe you're playing an instrument like your bass or guitar or something like that. And you're not even thinking about it. You might make instrumental music, but you could even be scribbling down lyrics in a notepad or on your phone. And I think feeling free and creative is really important at this stage. This is the stage where you're making all of those thousands of unfinished Ableton projects, which is okay, by the way. I've got a whole video on why that's okay. But this is a cool season to be in. It feels quite fun, liberating, not much pressure, and you're just having fun creating stuff. So enjoy that season whilst it lasts. And one famous example of why this is an okay season to be in, it's one of my favourite duos, Boards of Canada, one of the most famous electronic duos ever. You know, they created 400 loops and song, they call them like song fragments for one album. You know, like ended up being what, you know, like an hour's worth of music, but they created 400 loops in total for it, and they didn't use them all. So enjoy the creation season, and it's normal for artists to go through this. Now, the next season that you're going to go through, season 2, is probably arranging, I would like to call it. So that's when you're getting all your little loops and stuff and getting them into arrangement view and starting them from beginning to end like it would play through if it was a song or a track. And it is something people struggle with. That's why I've got that free guide I mentioned. Get that below. But also there's other ways of getting over it. For example, why don't you listen to some of your favourite songs and then just listen for when the section changes in an obvious way or an element comes in and it changes the energy. And you can call things like part 1, part 2, and then part 1A, part 1B, you know, like, because sometimes things repeat like that, and you can almost draw out a flow diagram with arrows and squares and then use that. Some people even take a track that they love into Ableton, use markers in Ableton along the top, put a marker where the section change, delete out the track, and then put in their own music. And it's okay to like be inspired by an arrangement. I mean, like you know, it's in classical music and symphonies and that, it's quite a strict arrangement a lot of them have, and then sometimes expand on, you know. In different other forms of art, you know, there's strict rules and people fit into that and then change it. Even like a classic pop song, you know, it's kind of like verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, or something like that. So it's okay to do that. Like 12-bar blues, it's a classic chord arrangement. So don't feel bad about kind of like stealing an arrangement as long as the music you put into it is original itself. Also, don't feel bad if you struggle with arrangement, because, you know, in the music industry, an arranger is a full-time job for some people. It's that skilled a role. So just practice at it, use some of the tips, and I think in the future I'm going to make a video on like a full guide on how to arrange your tracks. But like I said, I've got that 10-step guide down below that'll help you out as well. Now, before I go on to season 3 out of 4, I just want to ask everyone, drop a comment below. What season do you think you're in at the moment? How do you get from one season to another? How do you get like unstuck if you feel stuck? So share some comments and stories down below. I want to read them, and your positive stories and your true kind of experience is going to help everyone feel part of the same mission, the same clan, and hopefully create a positive community down below where we're all helping each other out with our own inspirational stories and stuff like that, and tips and advice. And even if you're struggling and don't have any advice to give, leave a comment and let us know what you're struggling with, and maybe me or someone else can help out in the comments as well. Let's make that a positive place down there. So you might be surprised that season 3, not 4, but season 3 is the one I think is finishing, you know, getting that track finished. You might think, well, why does that not the last one? Well, wait for it. I think season 3 is finishing because you've done creation, you've arranged it, now you need to finish it, and that involves all the things like adding the extra tiny little details like ear candy, you know, adding a bit of automation, and then doing like your full mix. And then of course it needs mastered, and you need to sort out the artwork and things like that, get it uploaded to wherever it's going, or send the demos out to the labels a little bit. At this finishing stage, it's really important to give it your best shot. And like I said, all these roles I mentioned, like mixing, mastering, things like that, some people do that as their full-time job, just that in the music industry. So if you struggle with that, don't worry too much. And one way to accelerate your kind of project is sometimes get people on board to help with that. Now, if you're lucky and got money, you can hire people. Make sure you hire the right person though, do your research. Or if you don't have loads of money, maybe you've got a friend who's learning production as well, but it just turns out they're a bit better at mixing than you are, but they struggle with coming up with ideas. So maybe you can help them out with creative production and they can help you out with mixing. So skill sharing and bartering like that is quite a cool way of doing it too. So yeah, this is a tougher stage to get through because you've already sat with your track for a while, you know the ins and outs of it so well, but it's so well worth pushing through this stage to finish your track and move into season 4, which is promoting. So season 4, it said no one likes marketing themselves, no one like promotes themselves, no one likes doing that much, especially over here in Scotland and in the UK. You know, we don't like that, we're not good at it. So this stage is a bit tricky, the marketing one. But there's a famous author I really like called Rod Judkins. He does loads of books on creativity. I'm going to have a book review of his on the channel soon to recommend to you. But he had a book called Make Brilliant Work, and it's amazing. But I was surprised that hear him say that I spent longer promoting that book than I did writing it. And I was like, whoa, do you think how long it takes to write a book and get it finished? You know, compared to making a track, you know, that's hard enough. But writing a whole book, and he spent longer promoting it, and basically said, he quoted loads of famous artists as well who are experts at marketing themselves, like Salvador Dali and stuff like that. And he just said it's your duty to get your work out there. If you finished it and put all this effort in there and you think it's good enough and you think it sends a message and it spreads some sort of message like positivity or connection or tells a story that's worth hearing, and your music should do that. And he's like, it's your duty to go out there and promote it. So season 4 probably is more about promoting, gigging, marketing, and there are whole YouTube channels dedicated to that. And it's something I won't say I'm an expert in, got a little bit of experience in this season, but there's whole world to learn that. So if you want to dip your toes in it and start learning that, that's a great idea. Have a Google about, see what you can find. But here's some tips I've got for you for the marketing in general. So basically the classic things like learn to like perform your work live, or if you're not into live electronic music, maybe learn to DJ it out and DJ it in amongst a set of similar music that would fit good nights. Maybe get in touch with blogs or podcasts that feature your kind of music. Try and get on playlists like Spotify playlists or YouTube ones. And like I said, I'm not mega experienced in this, but at least that's a few starting points. I personally love the getting out there and performing it in some way, because then you meet real people, connect real fans, and they feel more of an attachment to it if they had a good night experiencing it. I feel that's a great way of generating fans. I mean, it's why bands and artists have done it for years, but it isn't the only way to do it. For example, I've got a friend, Sean, who might be coming on the YouTube channel soon to do an interview, who has amazing success, but maybe not done the amount of shows you might think he might have needed to do to reach that sort of level. Although his live shows are amazing, you just would have thought I had to do more of them. But yeah, so it's not the only way. So yeah, finishing season 4. But I've also got a bonus season for you, which is kind of weird. Consider it like a leap year or something. So you've had your creating, arranging, finishing, promoting, and then this one is resting. Take a holiday, a vacation, chill out, So at this point, you're probably pretty tired out and you need to recharge your creative battery, Your creativity is precious and you need to fill it with life experience and also rest it as well. So say you just take it a bit of a rest from music production. And also, I don't want you watching my channel when you're in this rest period. I don't want you watching any synth YouTubers or anything, or listening to music podcasts, or don't even take a music book with you on holiday. Read about something else you like. You're a multi-dimensional person. I know there's more to you than just doing music production. So whether it's history or golf or making those little origami swan things or whatever, just do something different for a bit. If you're ever feeling a bit burnt out from music production as well, it's okay to take a rest from it. It could be a week, it could be a year, who knows, but it's okay to do that. It doesn't mean you're not a music producer anymore and you should sell your stuff. No, it's okay to take that rest and recharge your creative battery as well. So, in summary, these are the 4 main stages or seasons of music production: creating, arranging, finishing, and promoting, and then bonus leap your vibe, resting and chilling out, yes, recharge that creative battery. So remember, leave me a comment. What season are you in? How do you get unstuck from different seasons and progress through them? Sometimes you need a thunderstorm to come in and change up your season. I'd be interested here. And as always, keep the comments positive, share your stories, share your tips, and that'll help everyone out. And if you're struggling, let us know in the comments and maybe we can help you out as well. And do remember, down below, you've also got that 10-step guide to finishing more of your tracks and get out of 8-bar loop hell. 10 days, 20 minutes a day, you'll be finishing those tracks as well, blasting through the seasons maybe. So I want to say thanks for watching this. If you're still here at the end, massive thank you. I want to say enjoy your whiskies, enjoy your synths, and have a great time. And check out some of the other videos on the channel for more inspiration. And yeah, thanks. Catch you later. Whisky.